Hey guys, what is going on? It's Wrestlelamia here, back with another episode. It's time for Forbidden Door, the first ever collaboration pay-per-view between AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Despite a slew of sidelined wrestlers, the show will go on, but will it deliver the goods? Join us now as Wrestlelamia recaps Forbidden Door and looks at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. The buy-in pre-show. The Factory, QT Marshall and Aaron Solo vs. Bishamon, Hiroki Goto, and Yoshihashi. Fast-paced tag match that sees Bishamon get the win after hitting their double-team finisher, the Naraku, on Solo. Your winners, Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi. Nick Comoroto vs. the Murder Hawk Lance Archer. It's a battle of the big boys as two of AEW's burliest brawlers battle inside and outside of the ring. Tremendous back-and-forth slugfest that sees Archer get the Duke with the blackout. Your winner, Lance Archer. Swerve in Our Glory, Swerve Strickland and Keith Lee vs. Suzuki-gun, El Desperado, and Yoshinobu Kanemaru. Plenty of false finishes, but ultimately, Keith Lee hits the Big Bang Catastrophe on Kanemaru for the 1-2-3. Your winners, Swerve in Our Glory. Gun Club, Billy, Austin, and Colton Gunn, and Max Caster with Anthony Bowens vs. Yua Yumara and New Japan LA Dojo, Alex Coughlin, the DKC, and Kevin Knight. Caster cuts a hilarious rap on his opponents. Despite a 2-on-4 handicap, Billy Gunn and Max Caster get the win after Gunn hits the Faymaster and Max hits the mic drop. Your winners, Max Caster and the Gun Club. Main show, Les Sex Gods, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara and Minoru Suzuki with Ty Conti vs. Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Umino. Winning team gets the man advantage at Blood and Guts. Kingston is out for revenge on Jericho, as is Umino. The announcers remind the fans that Jericho beat up Shota's father in New Japan. The heels turn the tide after Guevara hits the GTH on Wheeler and Suzuki pile drives Kingston into oblivion. Umino fights off all three heels until Jericho hits the Judas effect on the New Japan star, pinning him. Winners, Les Sex Gods and Minoru Suzuki. Jericho Appreciation Society earns man advantage in the 29th June Blood and Guts match. Winner takes all three-way tag team match. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions FTR, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler versus IWGP Tag Team Champions United Empire, Great O'Khan and Jeff Cobb versus Roppongi Vice, Trent Beretta, and Rocky Romero. It's bad news for FTR as Dax Harwood is injured early on, leading to one half of FTR being taken to the back. Wheeler fights the odds until Harwood returns, and it's on. FTR lands the big rig on Romero as he's unable to beat the 3 count. Your winners, new IWGP Tag Team Champions and still ROH World Tag Team Champions, FTR. 4-way for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship, Pac vs. Malachi Black vs. Clark Connors vs. Miro. Seesaw battle as underdog Clark Connors shows plenty of heart. Miro locks the game over on Pac, but Malachi Black sprays Miro with the Poison Mist, freeing Pac. Black locks in his submission hold on Connors, but Pac breaks it up and locks the Brutalizer on Connors, forcing him to submit. Your winner and inaugural All-Atlantic Champion, Pac. Bullet Club, El Phantasmo and the Young Bucks, Nick and Matt Jackson with Hikuleu versus Dudes with Attitudes, Darby Allin, Sting, and Shingo Takagi. The Bullet Club's experience seems to give them the edge, but the one-night reunion ends up badly as Shingo covers Phantasmo for the 1-2-3. Your winner, the Dudes with Attitudes. Jericho Appreciation Society confront Shota Umino backstage and congratulate him on his gutsy performance. Jericho tells Umino that he's earned his respect, only to fireball the Japanese star in the face. AEW Women's Championship match, Thunder Rosa defends against Toni Storm. Rosa delivers the final reckoning, covering Storm for the win. Your winner and still AEW Women's Champion, Thunder Rosa. Rosa extends her hand to Storm after the match, and Storm shakes it. IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship match, Will Ospreay defends against Orange Cassidy. One near fall after another as both men seem to have their opponents where they want them. Ospreay gets help from his allies in United Empire, but in the end, it's his Stormbreaker that gets the win as Freshly Squeezed counts the lights. Your winner and still IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion, Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay and United Empire go for a post-match beatdown on Cassidy, but Roppongi Vice run in for the save, only to get beat down themselves. Katsuyori Shibata runs in for the save, taking out Ospreay and United Empire. Afterwards, Orange Cassidy puts his sunglasses on Shibata. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Claudio Castagnoli. An epic technical battle, Claudio guts it out, landing the discus lariat followed by the powerbomb. Claudio wins his AEW debut. Your winner, Claudio Castagnoli. Four-way match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. Jay White defends against Kazuchika Okada, Hangman Adam Page, and Adam Cole. Cole and White go for a Bullet Club reunion, teaming up against Page and Okada. But in the end, Jay White pinned Adam Cole to retain. Your winner, and still IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Switchblade Jay White. AEW Interim World Heavyweight Championship match, Jon Moxley versus the Ace, Hiroshi Tanahashi. Tanahashi busts Moxley open but can't put him away. Moxley locks in the Bulldog choke, but Tanahashi won't quit. Moxley executed the Death Rider, covering a near-lifeless foe to claim the Interim Championship. Your winner and AEW Interim World Heavyweight Champion, Jon Moxley. After the match, Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia attack Moxley and Tanahashi. Eddie Kingston runs in for the save, but the numbers game catches up. Claudio runs in to even the odds as William Regal watches with approval. Claudio swings one of Jericho's sports entertainers around as the babyfaces watch the heels back away. However, Eddie Kingston is reluctant to join Jon Moxley's teammates in the ring. Is there dissension in the ranks? The Good. A fantastic Fatal 4-Way. The All-Atlantic Championship Fatal 4-Way was a slobber knocker with Miro, Pac, Malachi Black, and Clark Connors all beating the tar out of each other. While Connors seemed outmatched initially, his gutsy performance was impressive, and his opponents made him look good when he rallied for what looked like a come-from-behind win, leaving the Forbidden Door open. Forbidden Door featured plenty of good matches, but it also left the door open for some intriguing rematches, not only for AEW versus New Japan, but also for intra-promotional battles. AEW and New Japan didn't let the tsunami of injuries stop them from booking a strong show, whether it was forwarding minor undercard stories like the dissension in the Gun Club, the ongoing feud between Juice Robinson and Will Ospreay over possession of the IWGP United States Championship, or what looks like a looming feud between Chris Jericho and Shota Umino. No B-Team. Forbidden Door featured Taz, Excalibur, and New Japan Pro Wrestling's English-language commentator Kevin Kelly, who also worked in WWE. All three announcers did a fantastic job, especially in terms of filling the fans in on the many storylines in AEW and New Japan. Max Caster is pure platinum. Tonight's buy-in bout between Max Caster and the Gun Club against Yuya Uemura and the New Japan LA Dojo was decent, but the real fun was listening to Max Caster's rap. Caster needs to be featured more as he's a fun sideshow attraction with the potential to become something more. The perfect pick. Claudio Castagnoli, aka former WWE superstar Cesaro, was the perfect pick to take over for Bryan Danielson against Zack Sabre Jr. Claudio looked strong against Sabre, although Sabre certainly didn't look weak in his loss. Claudio should make a great addition to the Blackpool Combat Club. Shine in the spotlight. Tonight's Haas fight between Lance Archer and Nick Comoroto proves that AEW has its fair share of big men and that it's time to start pushing some of its heavyweights. AEW is not a big man's company, but that shouldn't leave its heavyweights collecting dust or putting smaller wrestlers over. Elevating stars. Forbidden Door provided some excellent opportunities for younger talent to show their stuff, despite the amazing number of wrestlers working tonight's show. And no, Wrestlelamia isn't complaining about a cavalcade of stars. Chief among them was Wheeler Yuta, who has been quickly elevated from a curtain jerker into an upper card star who looks like he belongs with the Blackpool Combat Club. While Clark Connors initially looked like he'd stumbled into the All-Atlantic Championship match, he showed lots of heart and has future star written all over him. Maximizing the star power. Forbidden Door featured 13 matches and made the use of every match to showcase as much talent as possible without anything feeling rushed. Tag team matches, including trios and three-way matches, were effectively used to promote AEW and New Japan's talent, yet for the most part, everything worked and it didn't seem like a random selection of wrestlers booked into matches. A wild brawl. Tonight's post-main event clash between the Blackpool Combat Club and the Jericho Appreciation Society was a fun way to build things up for this Wednesday's Blood and Guts show and to send the fans home happy. The bad. Ridiculous repetition. Tonight's opening bout on the main show was the wild brawl that fans expected, but the spot where Eddie Kingston and Minoru Suzuki exchanged chops followed by machine gun chops was ridiculous. It didn't ruin the match, but it's a silly spot that's better suited for a comedy match. Wrestlelamia is sure the spot has its fans, but it exposes the business as far as we're concerned. A fizzled four-way. Jay White's IWGP Championship defense was a strong four-way match until its fizzled finish. The match itself was great as White, Okada, Cole, and Page looked fantastic, with the announcers heightening the suspense by reminding fans that White didn't have the championship advantage. Regrettably, White appeared out of nowhere to steal the win, taking away much of the suspense you'd expect during the match's climax. A bungled Bullet Club reunion. Tonight's one-night reunion of Bullet Club member Phantasmo with former Bullet Club cohorts the Young Bucks was a bit of a letdown. While Sting's 2022 version of the Dudes with Attitude were light years ahead of the work rate of the original lineup, particularly the Junkyard Dog and El Gigante, the match ran amok as it was played too much for laughs. Perhaps it was just a case of the Bullet Club reunion being a letdown, but this match was a disappointment. The downright ugly. Nothing ugly, as AEW and New Japan made the most of an incredible number of injuries that took out some of its top stars. Forbidden Door was well-paced, and even if you didn't like a match, AEW and New Japan made sure there was another waiting. While AEW and New Japan need to limit their crossover shows, they've shown just how much fun they can be. Well guys, there you have it, Wrestlemania's in-depth analysis of AEW x NJPW Forbidden Door. Did you watch the show? And if so, what did you think? Be sure to leave your comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time for some more wrestling content.